I think one thing I could never argue against is that a mom's home-cooked meal cannot be beat by any kind of fast food or any type of restaurant food ever. When I was growing up, I had the privilege, like, I look back at it now as a privilege, because as an adult it's a pain to cook for yourself, but I look back at it and I'm just really happy that my mom cooked a home-cooked meal just about almost every day, at least every other day. She would make food for me, my siblings, and my father, and it's just, I miss being able to eat her food daily. And I'm only thinking about food because I'm really hungry right now. So, yeah, ¿Qué pasa, YouTube? How's it going, guys? Have for y'all today BBL week number 4, where we are taking on Ultraplayer and his Philadelphia Soldier. I uploaded a team builder yesterday. Check that out if you guys want to know why I'm bringing what I am bringing and what I expected our boy Ultra here to want to bring. So let me know if you guys like home cooked meals as opposed to going out to buy meals, which I feel like a majority of you would rather have a home cooked meal than having to go out and buy one. Although I guess if you have to cook for yourself, it would be a little bit annoying. Okay, I need to stop talking about food and thinking about food because I'm just gonna get hungry halfway through this and not want to finish recording it. So yeah, we can jump into this. So going into this game, I was really surprised to see that he did not bring Manectric or the Mienshao, also Licky, but I can see why he wouldn't want to bring them. So these Pokemon weren't really that surprising either, but I was happy to not see the Volturn Core or Licky. I was shocked to see that he brought Abomasnow plus Scizor and Uxie plus Gligar, but that shouldn't be entirely too big of an issue, as he ends up leading off with Greninja. I lead off with my Garchomp. Turn 1, I figure he's either going to try and get up a spike or he may just go straight for the Ice Beam, and if he does expect to activate his Battle Bond, then I'm going to go and punish him. And it turns out that he actually ended up freezing me turn 1, very first turn of this battle. He got the freeze on my Garchomp, but Ultra was nice enough to be like, hey dude, let's restart. That's real bullshit, because this is the first time me and Ultra have ever played on Wi-Fi. I think we played in DPL first season, but this is the first time we're playing in a regular actual league. So he was nice enough to restart, and I was like, thank you dude, thank you so much. So yeah, don't get frozen. Second remake of the match, I suppose. Earthquaking for good damage. I switch into my Persian thinking he would go for either the Dark Pulse or just another Ice Beam. As he does go for the Ice Beam, I'm expecting him to probably switch out here in case I was Scarfed. So this allows me to go for a Parting Shot into my Superior as he brings in the Xerneas. Now, if he's not Scarfed, I am able to outspeed him, but it turns out that he is Scarfed, which is actually not that bad, because as you can see here, I'm able to tank the hit relatively well, but I then missed my Leaf Storm, which really sucks, because I could have got off a huge chunk of damage on this Xerneas if I had hit that first Leaf Storm. I don't think I actually would have gone for knockoff here if I hit my first Leaf Storm, because the boosted Leaf Storm would have put this thing low enough to the point where I really didn't care too much about it having a Choice Scarf. As you can see there, that Leaf Storm did so much damage, so I might have actually been able to knock him out, I don't know. But yeah, I missed Leaf Storm, and that really sucks because now I lose my Superior. I guess getting rid of the item on Xerneas is good, because now it's not faster than the rest of my team, so that allows me to go ahead and bring in my Mewtwo Y here. I figure that he really has no reason to just leave in Xerneas here. He has a Uxie in the back that's still very healthy, so expecting that to come in, or if he wanted to be crazy and bring in Scizor, I figured just going for the Flamethrower here was my better move. Xerneas still does have a lot of use for him later in this match, and now that he has free liberty to switch up moves, he can definitely punish me with that. So I Flamethrow it here, get off a decent little bit of damage on the Uxie. I don't want to stay in and potentially take a Thunder Wave, so I try to bring in my Garchomp in hopes that he would either get up a Stealth Rocks or Thunder Wave, then that way I could get up my Stealth Rocks and hopefully just start getting chip damage on his team. Although I guess he could have Defog on Gligar or the Scizor, but it's not that big of an issue. As in comes the Mega Abomasnow here. Unfortunately, I've lost my Yache Berry, and I'm way too low to the point where I can easily live any one hit that this thing wants to go for, so I figured that I can probably still keep Garchomp for later. Then that way I can still get up my rocks later as well. So I just expect them to want to go for the Ice Shard here, which is why I make such an aggressive switch into my Mewtwo Y. I should be able to live Ice Shard relatively easily. If he wants to go for Swords Dance, I guess that would be a little bit scary, but at +2, I can still tank the hit regardless, as I do take the Ice Shard relatively well enough. I guess I should have calced to see how much investment this Abomasnow had, and this kind of comes into play later in the match. But I'm gonna double out into my Alolan Persian thinking, oh, he's gonna bring back in the Uxie here, so this puts me in a good spot. I can just go for knockoff or parting shot, but he actually ends up bringing in Gligar. Now Gligar is extremely bulky, so if I'm able to get rid of its Violite, this is going to be huge for me, because now it's so much easier for the rest of my team to beat this Gligar, and this is absolutely huge because now I have a much easier time being able to punish it with the rest of my team. As in comes the Xerneas here. I am apparently locked in to knockoff here, so I'm gonna decide to just go ahead and hard switch out because I still have use for my Alolan Persian in the back. If I can weaken the Scizor, then Scarf Persian could actually just win me the battle. So I switch directly into my Registeel here as he decides to go for the Moonblast. Unfortunately ends up getting a crit, which is rather annoying because I don't have leftovers on this Registeel. And now I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's gonna try and switch out here. So I can bring in my Quillfish and maybe catch an incoming Scizor potentially, but he actually just stays in and he goes straight for the Focus Blast, which I was not expecting him to go directly for because I thought he would still want to save his Xerneas. But if he wants to give me Xerneas, then I will gladly go ahead and take it off his hands, as I'm going to switch back into my Registeel. This kind of sucks though because now my Quillfish took an unnecessary hit. I don't know why I messed that word up so badly there for a second. So I can go ahead and just try and Iron Head this, hopefully knock him out, as I do manage to dodge a Focus Blast, which, hey, I will gladly take at this point. He's crit me, I've missed Leaf Storm, he froze me in our first initial battle. I'll take what I can get, dude. So he hits me with another Moonblast here as I'm able to get rid of his Xerneas, which is a-okay with me. I do have Rest on this Registeel, which I can easily get it off on the Uxie or the Abomasnow, most likely, as in comes the Gligar. I almost wanted to stay in here and go for Rest, but I was like, I can probably find a better opportunity later, actually. So I switch into my Garchomp. As long as he doesn't have any attack investment, I always live Earthquake from Gligar. So as long as he didn't have more, I think, than like 12 or 16, there was no chance of him knocking me out unless he got a crit. So this allows me to get up my Stealth Rocks, which is nice, as he gets up his own rocks. I figured that I might as well just try to do some type of damage to this Gligar, as I'm gonna go for the Flamethrower, and I do get a little bit lucky again, and I managed to burn him. In the long run of the battle, I am not entirely too sure how much this might have actually mattered, but it is very helpful in the sense that now I can probably bring in my Quillfish. If he's not Hyper Cutter, which I really doubt he is, then he is effectively going to be at like -3 physical attack, which means I'm going to be able to easily tank Earthquakes from this Gligar, and I can potentially try and start getting up my layers of spikes to help my Alolan Persian and my Mewtwo Y in the back out for later in the game here. So he decides to go for the Earthquake. I tank the hit like a monster, and looking back at it, I probably should have just tried to get up all 3 layers of my spikes here. And that might have honestly been my better option than just going straight for the Ice Beam. That crit didn't matter. Ice Beam did like at least 50%, and it was below 50%. So yeah, I don't know. I guess this is probably one of like the 2 plays I kind of regret doing, because if I did get up all 3 layers of my spikes, that would have been amazing because of the all the chip damage that his team would have got. But the nice thing about getting up 1 layer of spikes along with my rocks is that now Greninja, upon switching, is going to be KO'd. So that's a huge benefit for me. As he goes for the knockoff, he then decides to pick me off with the Foul Play. Don't get a burn with the Scald, which is not entirely too big of an issue, as I will be able to bring in my Alolan Persian here. And it turns out that I'm actually not even Choice Scarf Persian, because once again, I saved over a previous week set. So it's kind of beneficial here actually, because me boosting back up to this amount of HP is really useful, because now I can definitely tank a hit from a non-boosted Scizor a whole lot easier, which is amazing. So in comes the Mega Abomasnow, and at this point I have my Mewtwo Y in the back and Registeel. My biggest concern is that Scizor is going to be Swords Dance with superpowers. So that is why I actually decide to not bring in my Registeel. thinking that if he went for Blizzard, I would allow him to then just bring in Scizor and start Swords Dancing. But because I didn't check the damage output of this Abomasnow earlier in the match, I don't expect Wood Hammer whatsoever, and this is the one play that just really just put the nail in the coffin for me, because I lose my main chance of winning. Now, after the hail damage, if he's Bandit Scizor, I am in range of Bullet Punch, but if he's not Bandit Scizor, I always live a Bullet Punch even after hail. So I really should have just switched into Registeel here, but that's the thing about it too, is that I didn't have any information on the Scizor, so I had to play on what I thought would be worst case scenario, which was him being Swords Dance, me bringing in my Registeel, he switches in Scizor, goes for the Swords Dance, and I lose anyways. So yeah, me losing Mewtwo Y just really puts me in such a bad spot, and then I don't even knock him out with the Gunk Shot here, and I'm way too low at this point where I can probably take any type of Bullet Punch from Scizor. I suppose if he's a bulky set, I might be able to live, but if he's not, then he's able to finish me off regardless. So I just decide that I probably lost at this point, so I'm going to sack off a little Impersion here, and my last Mon is unfortunately Registeel. That crit I really doubt mattered at all, so I'm going to bring in Registeel here, and in the off chance that maybe he doesn't have superpower, I'm gonna try and go for the rest here, as he actually switches out into his Greninja, and now I'm thinking, oh, I have a chance. I might just have a chance to win this if he is either not banded or if he is not running superpower for whatever reason, because if he doesn't have superpower, then I can hopefully rest talk curses and just Iron Head him to death. This is also where if I had gotten up my 3 layers of spikes instead of just that 1 layer, things would have helped me out so much more, because he definitely would have been super low, as he unfortunately turns out to not only have the superpower, but he is indeed choice banded. So if I can sleep talk Iron Head and get a crit, I might have a chance to win this battle, but I'm not sure if I even knock him out with the crit, as I go for the sleep talk and I get the Iron Head. He is at -1, but that does literally no damage whatsoever, and unfortunately another superpower here will end up knocking me out. Now I don't know, I don't think if I had got a curse over Iron Head, sorry, that things would have changed much. I really feel like I played better than Ultra in this match. It's just I got a little bit unlucky, and then at the very end, because I was ignorant and I didn't check the damage output of Abomasnow, I just kind of needlessly threw in my Mewtwo. But then again, that goes back to me talking about not having any type of information on Scizor and trying to play to what I figured would be the scariest set against me that he had. So either way, it was a really good close game there. Good game to Ultraplayer. Check him out. Channel link and stuff will be down below. With that being said, I will see you all tomorrow on Tuesday for sure. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this match and we can bounce back in week number 5. We're only 3-1, so hey, that is still pretty good, honestly. So we'll see how things go. But I hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know about the home cooked meal. I'm really hungry, dude. Like, see, I just narrated the match, stopped thinking about food, and now I'm trying to finish it off. And I was like, oh, I mentioned food at the beginning, and now I'm gonna go eat. I'm really hungry. So yeah, this will be up eventually on Monday, but I want to go get some food. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Later, everybody.
Because my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.